Don't panic. This is easier than it looks. Hi Rockstars, my name is Mr. Gaboobly, and welcome to Cultist Simulator. This game isn't easy, but it doesn't have to be hard. My goal today is to get you into the game and on your way to understanding how to play. I plan to do this without spoiling anything major related to the plot, and to do it quickly, so let's go. Welcome to the table. Almost the entire game takes place right here. First things first, let's go to the options menu in the bottom right corner and adjust the text size if you are redacted years old like me. So, this game runs in real time and requires you to do many actions with debatably split-second timing. So this lovely little button, the pause button, will be your best friend. Don't know what to do? Pause. Afraid of dying? Pause. Want to read a bunch of lore? Pause your game. You'll have a much easier time if you use this button regularly. Let's look at the bottom left corner. That's you! Give yourself a cute name. Last part of your HUD is your resources. From left to right, we have health, passion, reason, and funds. We'll talk all about this later, but this will be a helpful little indicator if you're ever wondering, how much of something do I have? 2 things on the table. Easy. We have here 1 action, work, and 1 card, menial employment. Let's look at work. When selected, a window opens with a slot available. You can put stuff in this slot. But what? Give the slot 1 little click, and the game will give you a pop-up in the top right. I'm not going to get into what all the icons mean, but it will give you any information you're missing. Also, when I click on the slot, any cards that could go there will light up. This also works in reverse. If you click once on a card, information pops up in the top right. If you double-click, the card will yeet itself into an action it fits. So let's take our menial employment into our work and hit start. Okay, pause. See this number on the top? That's how many seconds are left before this action completes. Click on the work action, read some lore, and unpause when you're ready. Okay, this next part is where a lot of players panic, because a lot is going to happen automatically. Some plot is going to happen, some actions are going to start all on their own. This is okay. Let's jump ahead 2 minutes of in-game time. Okay, who are all these people, right? Pause. New cards. Health. Your new physical body and ability. Reason. Your smarts and big brain energy. Passion. Emotional ability and feels. Funds. You get to worry about money, just like real life. You can see how many you have in your HUD in the middle. Dream. You can go to bed and dream about stuff. Study. You can think about stuff. Your superpower is that you can do these at the same time. It will greatly benefit you to do multiple actions at the same time, because this little brat is going to keep spinning as long as you're unpaused, so you got to make the most of your time. No, I'm going to talk about you real soon. But first, step 1, become your best self. You're going to need to do 2 things at the beginning: make money and increase your stats. Each of your 3 resources, health, passion, and reason, can be used in the work action, and each gives you a different job. Using health takes you to the Amazon warehouse. Passion lets you paint a picture to sell, and reason lets you get an office job. Using health, passion, or reason on work makes it exhausted for the next 60 seconds. Some of these jobs might even give you a new card alongside funds. Health, vitality, passion, glimmer, reason, erudition. These cards don't last forever, but you can use them in the study action. 2 vitality in this action and boom, more health and a special skill. 2 erudition, more reason. You get the idea. Future upgrades require more investment, combining 2 vitalities to make a lesson in vitality and 2 lessons to increase the skill. These can get a little crazy later on, but let's try for 2 upgrades of each for now. Side note on these 2. Your jobs can be a little inconsistent on giving you these, so try studying passion or reason to gain 1 glimmer or erudition, respectively. Okay, so far so good. Let's change gears and talk about how to avoid death, because, oh boy. Cultist Simulator wants you dead. The timer. This is your worst enemy. every minute, it takes a fund and gives you new problems. Basically, everyone who starts playing this doesn't fear this brat enough. So if there's only one thing you take away from this video, please let it be this. That I am a streamer on Twitch. You need to be checking this literally every minute. Because not only do you have the powers of multitasking, you can see into the future, 1 minute at a time. By clicking on the timer, you can see in the middle right what your next challenge will be. There are 7 challenges in total, and we're going to talk about all of them. Don't panic. This snowflake means nothing happens. This is a fascination check. The game will look to see if you have any fascination cards. But what is fascination? If you look at crazy stuff, you're gonna get one of these. These go away naturally after about 180 seconds, or you can dream them away using dread or fleeting reminiscence. If the game finds fascination, it will pull fascination into the check. If it pulls 3 fascination cards, and you don't stop it, your brain will break and your character gets to rest in a padded room. You can counter fascination cards that have been grabbed by the check with dread or a fleeting reminiscence. If, after 60 seconds, no fascination was found by the game, the check ends and you get a fleeting reminiscence for free. So let's talk about dread. Depression check. Just like the fascination check, if they find no dread, you get 1 fleeting reminiscence and you're good to go. If they find one, it'll keep looking for more until you get rid of the one. You can get rid of these with contentment, which have a chance of showing up from painting, or guaranteed if you use questionable medicinal practices. If you get to 3 dread on a depression check, you commit unalive, but the option to start a new game. Love check. Did you know that this game was a dating sim? Surprise. Are you alone? Easy contentment card. Nice. Are you not alone? Okay, this is slightly more complicated, but usually still good. Sickness. Yep, smallpox. This one will borrow one of your health cards for 1 minute and then give you a new card called an illness. If you don't rest using this card and either money for medicine or vitality, it'll turn into decrepitude after 180 seconds and you'll never get the health back. Decrepitude cards can be used, but you really don't want them. If you have no health and a smallpox check happens, you visit the main screen. While on the health tangent, injuries from accidents and hunger from having no money need to be taken care of in the same way as illness. The hook is kind of fun. Your character becomes frustrated that you're not redacted yet, so you receive a restlessness card. These cards turn into dread after 60 seconds. You can prevent this through art therapy. This will consume the restlessness. And lastly, a crime check. Turns out, people don't like cults. Who'd have thunk? If you have any mystique or notoriety, the game generates an investigator to keep an eye on you. If said investigator finds any notoriety, they might generate some evidence against you. If they find even more notoriety, they'll upgrade that evidence to damning evidence. If they find any more, they'll change your logic. When an investigator finds mystique, it does no harm, but they will check again for another 60 seconds. My recommendation for hiding crimes. Hide all of your mystique and notoriety inside a painting. Start said painting right before the investigation. If they don't have any mystique or notoriety to grab, they'll move on right before you finish your painting. So, to recap, snowflake, no problem. Crazy check, dream away your fascination before or during with dread or reminiscence. Depression, dream away dread before or during using contentment. Love check, free contentment. Illness, dream it away with vitality or money. Restlessness, art therapy. And crimes, hide the crimes in your art. Also, for the love of anything, don't run out of money. Starving takes away your health and needs to literally be fed. Look at you go! Not dead, thriving, and away from abject poverty. Okay, but now what? Well, it's time for the power of friendship. Plot stuff. Investigate to get neat one-time use items, a set of directions, notes on a collaborator, and a colorful little paper. Let's search those directions. Would you look at that? A new action and a new card. Explore is the most straightforward action in the whole game, and it's also the hardest to use early on. So for now, just please be ready to spend almost all of your money at Mortland's shop. Exploring the shop with a fun gets you a brand new book. By the way, you collect books now. You can study books to learn languages, to get you glimmer or iridescence, and to get some more of those funny, colorful little papers. I will talk about them, I promise. But it's a lonely, culty world, so let's make a friend. Studying this unlocks the talk action, and after a little plot, your first friend. Hi friend, let's talk. And we've started a cult, but it wants something. It wants a colorful little piece of paper. It wants lore. There are 9 lore magics to choose from, and I am going to painfully paraphrase them all. Lantern, praise the giant light bulb. Forge, praise the anvil. Edge, praise the stabbing. Winter, librarian and necromancer vibes. Heart, live, laugh, dance party. Grail, thirst. Moth, knock, locksmiths, but magical. And secret histories, occult Wikipedia. You can make a cult out of any of these, so choose your favorite. So, a friend, some lore, little time, and boom. You've made a cult. We're rolling, and now we're going to expand. Aggressively. The talk action is going to become your new best friend. If you talk about lore on the street corner, you might look a little weird, but you get to make new friends. The game will borrow passion for new followers and reason for patrons, more on those later. Talk to your cult to welcome in any new friends, just to add a little bit of your chosen lore, and you're golden. You can upgrade your believers into disciples. It'll take stronger lore of your cult, but their power will increase significantly when you do this, and I strongly recommend it. Each follower is a specialist on a certain kind of lore, except secret histories. You got your fighters, your lovers, your workers, and more. The dream is 2 of each, but right now your goal is to gather as many new friends as possible. And then, I think you're good to go. Much further, and we're going right past mechanics, right into plot spoiler territory. So this last section is going to be a few weirder tips, in no particular order. Exploration. Going for walks finds you new places, and new friends. Why would I need a temporary hire that'll never be seen again? Don't worry about it. Try out more things in the Explore option. You might find some very interesting options. Talking. Talk to your followers about things. They'll hint toward game mechanics I haven't even mentioned. Talk to your patrons. Most can teach you a language. Sulochana can be used to pause cards that you don't want to expire. And Poppy... dreaming. Dreaming is so good. I can't even talk about it without spoiling anything. Just put stuff in your dream. Working. Maybe there's other employment opportunities I didn't mention. Maybe there's work that isn't recognized by a major bank. And lastly, losing isn't all that bad. Some people might say otherwise, and I realize that I've spent the last 13 minutes trying to teach you how not to lose. But this game is about trying out crazy stuff and seeing what happens. In fact, in-game failures under the right conditions set you up for amazing playthroughs. So go for it. You've got this. Thanks for watching.